of Virginia, Quint, they're playing John Harvey on close D. They're also playing Doug Worthen. Our face-to-face matchup is right in front of you. Our Nike face-to-face, the two Ryans, Powell and Curtis. Kataya bringing the ball around. Syracuse has not had much possession time. Virginia just dominating so far in times of possession and, of course, quality shots. No saves so far in the game. Syracuse looking to rip one here, far to the right, so they missed the cage twice. Quint back to that point. They seem to have trouble, opposing teams do, against this great defense of finding that 36 square feet.
Chris Cordisco with that last shot. 7 regular season goals for Cordisco. He's got 6 in the NCAAs.
This is our face-to-face right in the middle. They've got Powell in front of the goal. They're trying to get the ball to him, taking Curtis away from any takeaway ability.
They're also taking Ryan Powell out of their own offense. Ryan Powell had 7 assists against Loyola. He loves to get the ball and back in. You take him out of that offense, and some of these other players, I think, their production might suffer as well. He's really the go-between.
Timeout called by Virginia. Short timeout called. Again, the other thing that sticks in my mind as you look at this defense is they've put Davies and Weissleiter on the bench right now. They've got 2 fresh defensive players in there, Virginia does. John Harvey, Doug Worthen, potentially to spare them some of that fourth quarter action. We want to remind you to stay tuned for Sports Century, the 50 greatest athletes presented by General Motors. The focus, Mark Spitz. Friday, 10:30 Eastern time. This is ESPN. You'll want to watch this weekly event that counts down the top 50 North American athletes of the past century. Olympic swimmer and gold medalist Mark Spitz. 23 world records, 35 U.S. records. You've got to see it on ESPN. ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Great programming yet to come here on ESPN. John Desko, you can almost know that he is very concerned right now. Look back, most years in the NCAA tournament by these teams. Hopkins 28, Virginia, Maryland at 23, Syracuse at 20. But they have really been a team to be reckoned with in the last decade and a half.
And their record during stretch time is incredible. 9-1 in the 90s in the regular season during May. 20-6 in the NCAA tournament in May. And this team lost 4 regular season games this year.
Syracuse again after the timeout, shooting wide of the net. Now you look at the defensive end of the field for Virginia. Doug Davies back in there. Number 17 normally calls the signals for the defense. Ryan Powell now working behind, setting picks. You see now you've got Curtis sliding over and playing Kataya. So they want to get Curtis more involved defensively. Try to push it in the crease. Virginia comes up beautifully with the ground ball.
The collapsing defense of Virginia. Chris Cordisco open for a second. Next thing you know, he had 3 white jerseys beating on his arms.
Now Starsia just barking out signals. I think they want to get Curtis more involved, but they moved him off of Powell to get him more involved in the offense. Look at that shot. They cannot get it through to the goal.
Curtis blocks a lot of shots. That's his second block shot. On Saturday, he blocked 3. He has got a really superior ability to slide and get his stick up in the shooting or passing lane to block that ball down.
So Syracuse unable to really get any effective shots on cage. Kenny so far only allowing the first goal of the game to Soliday. Then it was Oki, Leahy, Holcomb, McKnight, and Jalbert. 5 in a row, and that what we have seen now all too often, that patented run for Virginia in the first quarter. Liam Banks has made a big impact, this young freshman, in the playoffs. Didn't play much during the season, Quint, but made a big impact numbers-wise here in the playoffs. This is Josh Kaufman. So 2 freshman players on the field for Syracuse right now. Kaufman taking time, working out. They're separating the defense, trying to get the one-on-one against Moeller.
They need more off-ball movement.
Up front, there's an easy shot on goal. Finally, they find the target. This time, it'll be the second goal for Syracuse, and Liam Banks, parked in front, sends it home.
Freshman Liam Banks 7 goals, 6 assists coming into today. Had 2 goals against Princeton. He'll take the feed from Ryan Powell. I thought Syracuse was standing still on offense. You'll see Curtis double team, leaving Powell. The defense rotates, and they're late to get back to Banks. Watch it again. You'll see number 6 enter the screen to the left. There he is, leaving Powell alone behind Banks. Just a little one-touch. Nothing Kenny could do about that. Nice passing by Syracuse. They've got to move. They've got to get into some offensive flow. A little too much standing around.
Chris Searcy comes in for Syracuse on this faceoff. He squirts it out to the wing. Here could be a shot. Back into the center, but the double-teaming Virginia team puts it right back onto the turf. Ryan Curtis brings it up. Now we've got numbers on the other end. Virginia coming down. Hard to the wing. Rocket. And I think Mulligan might have gotten a piece of one finally. Radeball let that one fly a little bit wide, and Mulligan got a read on it.
He has got an awesome release. Tucker Radeball can shoot sidearm. He's got this patented overhand shot. Sensational senior year for Radeball. Talked about his on-the-field performance with all the goals and assists, but he has been the leader of the senior class, really transforming this program, giving it some toughness.
Quint, one of only 3 players on that roster who has been in a championship game. In close, and the stick check of Josh Rule takes that right out of David Baruch's stick. A 5-0 run stopped by Liam Banks to make it a 5-2 score.
Syracuse still in their man-to-man defense. Tough to play zone when you're down by 3 or 4 goals against this Virginia team that can just pass the ball around the outside, eat chunks and chunks of time.
As effective as the zone was, I was really surprised that John Desko didn't get to it after about 3 goals. He didn't. And we'll see if that is going to be something he'll regret. Ball thrown by Radeball. He just misread Connor Gill's move. He thought Connor was going back to X, and he moved to the side. With only 21 seconds left in the first quarter, they'll move the ball up. X, of course, being the focal point of the offense, right behind the net. You like to move it to X so that you can redistribute to the other side. It's almost, you don't even have to look there. Normally, the offside attackman parks behind the goal and gets the possession moving.
Lacrosse unique, unlike basketball or soccer, you can attack from behind the cage. And when you have great passers from behind the cage, that opens up shooters from in front.
Coyote from Abrams. He knows he doesn't have much time. Let's see if he gets one on the run. Into the crease. They've got the ball behind the back, but taken out of the air again by Curtis and Weissleiter. No time left as they take a shot from well out front. That was trouble in front of the goal. But again, the Virginia defense has stifled the offense of Syracuse with tremendously accurate stick checks, saving a lot of shots from Derek Kenny. When we come back, Virginia will continue their quest for their first championship since '72. College Park, Maryland, Byrd Stadium. Record crowds have been established here for the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship, and today maybe another one. The crowd is in here enjoying 2 of the most electrifying offenses in college lacrosse today. Lee Felsmo, Quinn Kesnick, 5-2 right now. Virginia leads as we head into the second quarter.
The defense for Virginia blocking shots. Ryan Curtis getting that loose ball. They have blocked 4 or 5 shots, protecting their freshman goalie, Derek Kenny. They've been sensational. Syracuse only scoring Brian Soliday and Liam Banks, both from very close range.
Jason Hart for Virginia takes the first face-off of the second quarter, along with Jason Denneker. Wing play has been critical for Syracuse as they get Hart on the ground. They can't get possession and tied up at the last moment. What is the foul call there? Push.
Joe Siglia, the junior from Yorktown, going to be flagged for a push with possession. Siglia shut down Josh Sims of Princeton in the first round game.
Exciting play on the sideline. But
Siglia, you could hear him directing his disdain towards the official.
So with a 5-2 lead, Virginia will get the first extra man play of the game. And their extra man is something to be feared.
They are dangerous. You don't know. Pick your poison, really. Gilbert can crank it up from the outside. Tucker Radeball, 16, so effective on the left wing. But then the other players will burn you. They got skills. It's so difficult to play defense against this group.
Rob Mulligan hasn't been really comfortable yet. He'll be tested here. He's got to get his feet on the ground. He allowed 5 goals before he even got his stick on any shot. And now Virginia is going to get one at him. Jalbert out front to Connor Gill. Connor Gill will now go through the offense. Decoy move. Jalbert up to the right-handed shot, wide open. Holcomb Low shot and just sizzled under Mulligan, who looks flat-footed and tired. His second goal of the game. Robbie Mulligan, who was so energized, Quint, when he's on, just seemed to watch that one just blaze under his legs to the left.
Hanley Holcomb is not the biggest player on the field, but his shot is an absolute laser, and he does catch the goaltender, Robbie Mulligan, really not ready for this. Most of the time on extra man, you're trying to work for the 8 to 10 yard shot. This time it's from 15 yards. Just a low cannon. Watch Mulligan hit. Let's see if he's ready for this, and let's see his reaction. Oh, he's just upset right there. He's not feeling it right now. This is a very emotional player, a talkative leader.
My fault, he said. My fault. He put his hand to his chest. He's just flat right now. Here's a guy who plays with the emotion you talked about. Needs to get pumped up. Virginia commanding the face-off again, this time from the wing. They'll put pressure on this time. Mulligan coming out and burying the wing. He'll get a penalty for that. So the referees taking over the game. They may put this one away for Virginia. Ball run over by Robbie Mulligan. Mulligan has to go to the bench.
You're not allowed to hit a player when he's down on the ground, and that's what that foul's going to be. Also, it looked almost like a cross-check to the back of the head, but Mulligan will have a seat in the box. Jason Golub, the backup goalie for Syracuse, has not seen much action this year at all. Only has played 12 minutes, has made 4 saves with 4 goals against. Actually, this is not even Golub. Bob Russ, the sophomore from West Jenny, who was hurt earlier in the year. I watched Golub play. This is Bob Rust. He has only played 3 minutes this season. 0 saves, 2 goals against.
So very much inexperienced, and he'll be facing some heat from Virginia. They lead 6-2. They have another man advantage as they work the ball around to Jay Jalbert. Last extra man goal taking his toll. Here's a big shot that goes high and wide from Holcomb. Holcomb just missed the cage and gave the goalie a little bit of a reprieve. They'll have more time as they work from behind, and Connor Gill way up top, and Connor Gill throws away to Holcomb. Here comes Liam Banks. It's not a releasable penalty when he gets into the box like it used to be in lacrosse. They have to take it to a full-time serve. So far in this game, credit Virginia, but Quint, if you're a Syracuse fan, Robbie Mulligan has not played to his season performance.
And definitely not to his playoff level of performance. He's been so sharp the last 3 weeks of the season.
Plenty of time for him to turn that around. This team, as you pointed out, Quint, is a second quarter team. Their numbers are excellent in the second quarter.
They have outscored their opponents 58-29. It is their best quarter. Syracuse, we know what they can do. They can tie 3 or 4 goals together in less than a minute.
Ryan Powell was just hammered by a collapsing defense. They were surgical in the way they just cut him up inside.
Watch the replay. Ryan Curtis, Kuntz, Doug Davies, like piranhas on raw meat, just all over Ryan Powell.
Trying to feed it to Powell again. It looks like Syracuse is really trying to force it into Powell. Look at a slash call. It'll be a delayed call as the ball finally hits the turf. Powell gets the penalty, and another man advantage play for Virginia. They have the 6-2 lead. The last goal scored, the only goal of the second quarter, was an extra man goal. They missed the last one. This time, they'll have their third shot.
Watch the foul right there. Slash to the helmet. Ryan Powell, his 6th penalty of the season. Curtis has been so impressive as a help defender and as a guy to pick up loose balls. He's got terrific speed. A little frustration sometimes on the offensive end when you turned over. It's important to keep your stick down low and avoid those kind of fouls. Those kind of fouls will kill you. Slashes in your own offensive end.
Saw the graphic, no man advantage opportunities for Syracuse. 1 for 2 for the Cavaliers. They had a fresh goalie in there last time. Did not get a shot on cage. Kind of threw it away. This will be their 3rd attempt. Jay Jalbert, the right-handed shooter, right there as they move in. They'll take the hard shot over the shoulder. McKnight just lights up the net, and Mulligan still dazed at the start of this game, not helping at all on the defensive end. He's had a tough one so far in this first quarter. 7-2 the score.
Drew McKnight with the, watch the body torque here, and watch him just shoot this high to high, and Mulligan guesses. No question about it. Watch Mulligan stick. He just guesses that this shot's gonna go low and makes the wrong guess. If in doubt, stay high. That ball will hit you in the head. You never want to drop down low. Watch the goalie ISO right there. He just guesses that McKnight's going to shoot low. And Drew McKnight, with that deceptive overhand motion, finds the upper portion. His 2nd goal, assist from Jay Jalbert, their 2nd extra man goal of the game.
And they are controlling the face-offs the way Syracuse feared they might. Tried to hit Curtis on a clearing pass, so they threw it away. Hard mad at himself. Quick Kesnick dissecting that move by young Rob Mulligan. Quick Kesnick, if you haven't followed the game that much, knows what he talks about. Four-time All-American in the goal for Hopkins. And Quinn still playing for Team Toyota at a very high level. Here comes Syracuse. They need to get some good shots. The last time down, Quinn, they seemed to force it to Ryan Powell.
Syracuse seems content to let Ryan Powell really play a complementary role today. In the past, he's been the primary ball handler. Today, he's playing crease attack.
Maybe a little bit too much thinking on the offensive end. What got them there seemed to have worked pretty well. Let's see what adjustments they make with a lot of time left. Down by 5, they've really got to climb a mountain here. The Cardisco line is in there. Syracuse Orangemen outscoring opponents in this quarter. We talked about that, 58-31. This is really their bread and butter quarter, but so far it's been Virginia with the 2 goals, both of them extra man. This will be the first chance for Syracuse now to have a man advantage and to put some heat on young Derek Kenny.
Court Wise leader, slashing violation. He gets the Syracuse attacker right on top of the head. Junior from Bayhead, New Jersey, went to the Taft School. Good-looking athlete, as is Mark Kuntz, number 40 for Virginia, only a freshman from Upper Arlington. He's on the field right now. Virginia's man-down defense, you can see Syracuse's extra man, historically one of the top units in the country.
So Syracuse now tries to get something going. They haven't had too many shots on goal. And this will be a chance right there. Didn't move it at all. Extra man. You normally move the ball around a little bit. And for some reason, Coyote thought he had a big opening up top. Was very anxious to put one on cage.
Virginia shutting off Ryan Powell behind the cage with Brendan Moeller. They are choosing to play 5 Syracuse attackers with 4 defenders in a box.
And their defense, again, aggressively puts the ball back. As Syracuse seems to think or walk around as if they have a 5-goal lead. They look very nonchalant. A lot of time left as Coughlin comes around to look for an opening. They have to work at 5-on-4 because of the shutoff player. Timeout called by Desco. He's going to try to solve the tactics that Dom Starsia has done so well using here in this game. Shutting off Powell, taking him out. When we come back, Syracuse will try to dent the nets, get back in this game. They're down by 5. We're greeting all the fans that have come to see the Division I championship at College Park, Maryland. 7-2, Virginia leading throughout. Desco, John Desco, the coach of Syracuse, just called a timeout because Dom Starsia and the Virginia folks have really not only outplayed so far, but kind of outfoxed them in a couple ways. They are cutting off some of the players on their extra man. Dom Starsia now changing some of his people, but still cutting off Ryan Powell, making Syracuse go 5-on-4 on those extra man. Now they switch out of it. So they showed it initially. Now they're back to a regular defensive alignment. Now they moved over to cut off Kataya. So again, they switched. They showed a cutoff of Powell, and then they came over and cut off Kataya.
A very intelligent move by Virginia's defense. Remember, Kataya and Powell have combined for 40% of Syracuse's goal this season.
And they've confused them enough to take away the advantage. Backdoor shot, and Kenny makes a nice block. So it took them a lot of time to figure it out as the ball's still loose. And by the time they did, the man advantage had expired. Great job by the Cavaliers coaching staff.
Kenny does a terrific job sliding across the 6-foot-wide goal, maintaining his position. If there's anything he does well, it is positioning. He has been hit by a ton of shots in this NCAA tournament.
Connor Gill now controlling the ball behind against St. George. Hot, sunny day, as you can tell, and this surface a little bit slick. Virginia trying to move in and blow open this game. And a big hit by Syracuse will give the ball back to them.
Just practice kicking it with your foot.
Syracuse has got to pick up the momentum on the defensive end of the field, and I think that'll get their transition game going. Josh Rule, player we haven't talked about, Marshall Abrams, who's had such a spectacular season. These guys have to get out, start generating some transition, make some takeaways and some big checks. That's their signature.
A little bit spent from their semifinal game just 2 days ago. Virginia using a lot of players early so that they have a lot of legs left in the fourth quarter. They've got a lead to work on too. Coyote, that first unit for Syracuse, Soliday, Coyote, Kaufman. Trying to get to the wing, and look at the big check by Curtis. Very active as he comes out and just puts the ball back. Loose ball, though, and beautiful save on the far side. Cutting it down was Mark Kuntz.
Mark Kuntz is a future star in this game. As I talked about earlier, from Upper Arlington in Ohio, a real lacrosse hotbed in that state.
Virginia wrapping, and there'll be a hold check against Tucker Radeball. He came across and kind of held up the player. Hold call, 30 seconds. It'll give Syracuse a chance to try to solve the extra man.
Watch the holding violation. Nice hit by J. Gilbert. He gets a help from Radeball. Watch this one-handed little hold right there with possession.
Radeball say, no, I didn't hold.
Radeball played in the 1996 championship his freshman year. He was a midfielder.
Faced off,
lost 4 or 5 face-offs. His career has been a spectacular one.
Different role for him today. As we mentioned, one of 3 players in the Cavaliers who have been to a championship game. Certainly the leaders, along with Henry Oakey, 5th-year player. 5th-year student, I should say, 4th-year player. Syracuse 0 for 1 on the extra man opportunities. And look at, they get it inside. Hoffman can't quite get rid of it fast enough. Look at the double teams. Up top now, Coyote will have a little bit of room. Finally puts one on Cage, but bounces it over top. And again, they're not getting it on the 6x6.
Coming into this game, I thought that if Virginia could limit the number of Syracuse shots to 35, they'd have a good chance of winning. Right now, Kenny has only had to make 2 saves, so they've only put 4 shots on goal.
And I don't think Kaufman has, or Mulligan has one yet. No saves, 7 goals against. The worst performance of his really stellar year. He's had a very strong year. Today, not there yet.
Look at the shots by Virginia opponents. Go down to the bottom. 1999, they've held opponents to less than 30 shots. And the amazing thing is opponents are missing the goal. They only put 56% of their shots on the cage.
Shot wide again.
Perfect example right there. We've seen 5, 6, 7 shots fired wide. I think the shooters are over anxious to put the ball towards Derek Kenny.
Timeout called by Virginia right now. They're going to go ahead and talk about this patient offense of Syracuse that has not really challenged Kenny. 7-2 the score. 5 goals separate these 2 teams. John Desko a little concerned as time keeps marching on.
Virginia's got to be extremely happy with their defensive effort. Ryan Curtis, sensational job moving his feet. He is everywhere, it seems, making checks, scooping up ground balls.
We've talked about Derek Kenny a lot. Let's let him tell us about the transition for a young goalie coming from high school to where a lot of shots top 100 miles an hour.
My form has probably changed, always being in a ready position, because high school you could make some athletic saves, being in the wrong spot at the wrong time. That's because the balls are going probably about 40 miles less an hour than they are going now. I think today's goalies have to be in the right position at the right time with I think the best form. I think that's what I've been mainly working on the whole season. That and composure.
Well, he's been great today. Look at this last shot right there. Just blocks it. You really have to find the net around him. He will take that shot in the face mask, in the chest, and sometimes even get a stick on it.
He has shown an uncommon resilience coming back from some poor efforts early in the season, playing his best lacrosse late. Very poised, calm, doesn't talk much. He admitted not talking much to his teammates. He doesn't want his teammates to read his emotions.
John Desko, after the Virginia timeout, gives him a chance to get the attack sort of regrouped. Kevin Donahue, an ex-great player from the Syracuse program, really directing the attack into the field. As you look at young Derek Kenny, we just heard him talk about his thoughts. Quint, that's pretty heady, though. His thoughts, he just doesn't feel he's ready to talk that much, be that vocal, and he just kind of, if he has any insecurities, he hides them beautifully. He stands up tall, and he has learned every game this season. Virginia has really mixed up the defense as well. Let's see what they do here as Coyote brings it around, trying to get a shot, and can't get it through the stick checks of Virginia. Some things aren't changing.
If you look at the Virginia defense, one thing that's been effective is Ryan Curtis, whoever he is covering, he's really stepped up to become a help man. He'll leave the player open behind the cage and slide for the quick double team.
Shots on goal. Look, Syracuse got shots at the goal, not on the goal, because they haven't hit it too many times. 17-14. Wheeling around, and again, cannot get a shot into Kenny. Ball still loose, could be trouble, but Virginia has 4 men on it, and Syracuse already dropping back in the hole. They look fatigued. They look a little more tired than the deep Virginia squad. Connor Gill with a lot of room, gliding up top against St. George.
Look for some patience here. Virginia will substitute some fresh midfield. They need to give their defense a rest. Over the past 5 minutes, they've been shorthanded and then had to play about 2 minutes of defense. So they need a rest defensively. Look for some patience.
Holcomb against the young Kaufman up top. He likes this matchup. Let's see if he tries to go one-on-one. They spread the attack. Takes it back to Connor Gill. Drew McKnight and over to Tucker Radeball. Virginia with a lot of touches. Holcomb gets the ball faked out of his stick and down on the turf. Good hustle by Syracuse as Siglia, the long stick defender, and a little bit of help, brings the ball up. Matt Alexander, the short stick defender, gets it down to the attack zone. Liam Banks now. Syracuse will have to figure out how to get shots off around the sliding stick checks of Virginia.
Effective defense for Syracuse by Kaufman, who was an attackman in high school up in Carthage, New York. His brother Jason, a star for so many years at Salisbury State in Division III ranks.
Syracuse trying to get a shot on goal. This one finds the mark and gets behind Kenny. Nice hard shot from up top. And finally, Syracuse gets goal number 3. This time,
Timmy Burns.
It's Timmy Burns, the 6'2", 180-pounder out of Baldwin, New York.
He had 2 goals against Georgetown. His first of the day, cuts into the Virginia lead. Watch it. You'll see Kenny get a piece of this. Little stutter step, left to right move. Kenny gets a leg on it, not the stick. Again, this angle will be a little better. Watch it, left to right, switches hands, fires on the run. Kenny's there. He thinks he has it. It's disappointing when you see those, when the ball hits you and trickles into the goal. So frustrating.
One of the few shots they've gotten on the 6x6, and of course it counts for goal number 3. Syracuse had the face-off, dropped the ball as they looked for a fast break. Weislater tracking it to the sidelines. Good hustle by Weislater up to Jay Jalbert. He's pinned on the sideline. The big, strong mini goes through 3 players. It's still at a stick. Dom Stargier calling for a foul, doesn't get it. Abrams coming down, trying to push the unsettled. No call as the crowd gives you their version of what they think about that play. A lot of stick checks over there, but the referee was right there, nothing called.
I think the referee had turned his head. Jalbert, absolutely hog-tied by Alexander, taken down to the turf, either a trip, hold, or push with possession.
Well, an offsides penalty was called, and it looked like Syracuse was back. They argued that call, but Virginia very quickly put the ball back in play. Gonna have 4 players in the defensive end, 3 in the offensive end at all times. He decided that midfield strike. Jay Jalbert, strong and confident, out to Tucker Radeball. This time Josh Rule goes out on hand. There hasn't been great consistency with the matchups of Syracuse. Jalbert comes in. Finally, Mulligan puts his body on that one. Big save by Rob Mulligan, the first of the game for him. Josh Rule, 6'5", up to Marshall Abrams, who played long stick midi, now playing close defense. Abrams can push it. Gets it off to the wing. A little bit of a room here as they get behind. Ryan Powell. Curtis trying to just strip him of the ball, and a real low percentage feed to the middle would have been dramatic, but it didn't find anybody except the defense of Virginia.
That is where Ryan Powell is so comfortable. He likes to post up and bear in with his strong frame. But Ryan Curtis just too fast and too strong. He'll not let you sit there. He will just throw a bevy of checks. That matchup so far has really favored Ryan Curtis.
He's done a great job and taken Powell pretty much out of the game. The leading point accumulator for the Syracuse Orangemen, 37 goals, 44 assists coming into this game. Leahy now controls the ball for the Virginia Cavaliers. Defense by Jeff Cordisco. Cordisco, one of the 2 twin brothers that are captains of this team. They get the ball down. Cordisco picks it up, finally gets help on the sideline. Timmy Burns over there to help him out. Mulligan out of the goal, and Burns has to go back to get it. Look at the sliding and riding of Virginia. Time violation. You've got 10 seconds once you get possession to get it out of your defensive end, and they did not do it. You've got to credit, as you look at the sideline, the Heat, John Desko thinking through this first half. Credit Virginia with aggressive riding their defensive zone.
1974 NCAA Men's Lacrosse National Championship.
Cavaliers pushing in. Ball tried to get it into the crease. Trying to find the stick of Josh Bradstreet. Cavaliers again looking in close. Connor Gill gets a big defensive check. Still has the ability to come up with the ball. Give it to Leahy, who finishes it behind Mulligan. The Cavaliers and Connor Gill, who really beefed up about 20 pounds as a freshman with strength, bulk, and muscle, just bounced off the defensive check.
It's obvious that Syracuse thinks that if they can try to manhandle Connor Gill, it'll affect his game. Watch him here. Take the check, turn, pivot, and find Leahy. A perfect pass right to the stick, and Leahy scores his second goal. Virginia shooting the ball so effectively. Their percentage must be about 80% right now. Watch it again. Connor Gill, one of the highest recruited players out of the St. Paul School in Baltimore, finding Leahy, who did not look very open. The reaction shot by Gill. 5 goals in the semifinals, and today, it's his first assist.
And is that bizarre? Syracuse comes up with the face-off and forces it into Mulligan, who was covered on his defensive end to try to get the clear. Now they're talking, Mulligan's protesting, saying it clicked off the stick of the Virginia defense, but what a risky pass that was, Quint. Virginia all over the Syracuse Orangemen. Mulligan hasn't been covered comfortable all game long.
He has got to bear down, make a play, and then generate some momentum from that point. You must forget about the goals you've let in. Think ahead. It's the next play that counts, the next shot.
I think it'll help them a little bit if the offense starts getting some shots on this end. Virginia has done a great job of just controlling this end of the field. Curtis and company as Coyote comes in. Look at that, trying to feed it tight into the crease. Nothing there for Soliday. Bataya, one of their best shooters, works around to the right-hand shot. Double team, handcuffed around the neck. That'll be an extra man play. Bataya did a great job of drawing the double, maintaining possession, and drawing the foul.
I think Kataya has got to become more of a ball handler as this game evolves, because if Curtis is going to win the Powell matchup, well, Kataya is the 1-2 punch. That's a foul on Ryan Curtis. Watch the hold up around the head, a hooking play, almost like similar to hockey. But that's a, got him for a slash, actually. 30 seconds, excuse me, a hold. Very important that Syracuse gets some pressure on the Virginia goal here.
David Jenkins has gone back to cut off Powell. They've switched between Powell and Kataya. Again, Virginia making Syracuse go 5-on-4, taking Powell out of the game. 5-on-4, and there's a pretty weak shot from up top. Coyote just giving the young Kenny plenty of time to read that shot, and Kenny looking strong in that save.
No deception on that shot. He dropped his stick low for the worm burner, and the ball stayed low. Very easy for the goalie to anticipate that shot.
Kenny getting confidence with every save. No effective shooting on that end of the field, thanks to the great defense. Not only the individual defense, but the strategies employed by Dom Starsia. Big shot, and now it's Syracuse getting their sticks on it. Mulligan picks up possession, looks for the outlet. Virginia really riding hard. Abrams able to come down with a big outlet pass. Teams at even strength as Abrams comes in. Jenkins working hard. 20 seconds left in this half. Half owned by Virginia, and they throw it out of bounds. Syracuse has really mishandled the ball time and time again. John Desko just beside himself, trying to figure out how to beat the tough defense of the Cavaliers. Ogie drops it to the ground. 6 seconds left. He'll keep it there. Holding the ball for play. It gives him 4 seconds left.
Look for Syracuse to try to screen Derek Kenny and take the 35-yard shot here.
Pushing into the crease, far side of the shot. Oh, great tie-up. No shot allowed because Doug Davies just tied up the Syracuse wing attackman. this first half has been owned by the Virginia Cavaliers. They have a 5-goal lead and have just dominated their defensive end of the field.
They have been so impressive defensively, protecting their goalie, and then converting their shots. Their shooting percentage right now around 75%. They've gotten scoring from a bunch of different players. McKnight has 2 goals, and Leahy, #1 for Virginia, with 2 also.
Syracuse will have to go in and figure things out to get more of an offensive game going. They've got to get Powell involved. He has been involved all season to their success. Not yet today. As you look at Josh Rule and company walk off this field, the crowd packed in to watch this tremendous matchup of 2 exciting teams. In a moment, we'll have a chance to get a little chat with the coach of the Virginia Cavaliers, Dom Starsia. Potential record crowd here at Byrd. All the records for this NCAA event have been set here at Byrd Stadium. Dom Starsia, you're with us right now. Our hats off to you. You have played a superlative. Your team has first half. Your defense is controlling the game.
Well, thanks, Leaf. I would say so far the key has been that we have been alert on defense, and we got a lot of lacrosse left to go, though. This one's a long way from over.
Coach, your midfielders have done a sensational job penetrating and then finishing their shots. You think you have a big advantage at the midfield?
I would tell you, Quint, that the key for us on the midfield right now is that we're getting back on defense. I'm not really looking at that as much as I am at the fact that we're cutting them off in transition, not giving them those layups at the other end. You know, we can still shoot the ball a little bit better. I think we've had some opportunities we haven't gotten yet.
Dom, last question. You've taken Ryan Powell out of the game. Was that important to you?
Always important in a game at this level. You got our best kid on him, and that's a matchup that's probably